So remember when I was telling you guys about those Vietnamese twins that one guy went to jail for murder and they didn't actually know which twin it was, but I couldn't tell you all the details?
Yeah.
Well, I know those guys, and I couldn't tell the details at the time until their podcast just came out where they talk about all of it, and this story is freaking crazy.
Well, hurry up. Tell me, what is it?
So basically what happened was these two Vietnamese twins, basically named like An and Chung, right? They live up in Northern California area, and they just get into like the regular Vietnamese American Northern California gang violence type of life situation. They get into this gang violence type stuff. They're actually in two separate gangs as they're growing up because they're trying to constantly like one up each other. They got each other's back. They like have the same half brain type thing where they're like twins about stuff, but at the same time they're like trying to be themselves, trying to like find themselves. So
They're in rival gangs?
not rival, they're just different gangs.
Do you think they ever gang swap? They're like, I'm too tired to go on my drive-by today. And he goes, I'll go for you. And then he's like, he just wears his colors and he goes on,
I don't think they did because that's just a lot of danger for no reason.
But I could tell you what caused that. You know how like when you have twins, usually moms make them wear the same clothes?
Yeah.
They're fucking tired of that shit.
So these guys are like that though. These guys are like that. Since birth, they were like wearing the same clothes like all the time type stuff.
Same clothes. So they're like, you're going to be a blood. I'm going to be a crip because I'm fucking tired of wearing the same shit all fucking day.
Yeah, so they're 18 years old. They end up rolling up to this party in San Jose in like 2014 time. Some fight happens in the front yard. One of the guys has a knife on him. And before, and the other guys are drunk and stuff like that. They're actually trying to get out and like not get into a fight though. So they go into the front yard, or so is said in this podcast. And then one of the brothers is drunk, so the other brother's like, I'm gonna take this knife away from him, so nothing happens, because I know shit's going down. Whatever. He doesn't want him to get in trouble. Next thing you know, he gets in trouble because something happened, and then now they start fighting. There's something about somebody touching some girl or punching a girl, hitting a girl. So some Vietnamese guys start getting really, really rowdy. There's this giant fight. The brother who took the knife away sees his brother getting in a fight, so he runs over there, pulls a knife out.
Oh my God.
like me trying to stop a fight.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Some shit goes down. They run, they flee. Everybody just kind of bounces, and then next thing you know, this kid, Richard Fan, ends up dying like later on, or something like that. Gets stabbed and dies later on.
Dang, man.
And then police are trying to investigate. So one by one, slowly, nobody really is like familiar. They come to this party kind of uninvited and stuff like that. But there's a distinct feature: they're twins, but nobody knows which one. So eventually the cops roll up on these twins, and eventually they they're kids, they're 18. They do something that is pretty dumb, and they kind of panic. They take the bloody clothes, they take the bloody stuff, whatever that was in the car that got stained or whatever. They're burning shit. They're throwing evidence on top of. They're chucking their textbooks have blood on it from the back of the car on top of the roof and stuff. One of the brothers like takes a knife, drives it out like 40 minutes out into like the mountainside, just chucks the knife. Now they're also just on the hook eventually for throwing away and destroying evidence and stuff too. But we still have an issue. Like, they're identical twins. And so nobody actually knows who did what thing.
You can't even do DNA?
Yeah, it's true.
So eventually, there's a lineup.
Do you think dogs can smell twins apart?
Oh.
I feel like, yeah. I feel like they live with them.
They smell different?
They have to smell different at that level. Thank you for interrupting. That was a very important question.
You're welcome.
Anyways, so eventually what happens is, and the only thing that they have together that they know is that they're just like, don't say shit. Don't rat the other person out. That's the only thing that they understand.
And let's go back to wearing the same clothes again.
Eventually there's a lineup because some witness is like, oh, I'm sure I could identify them. Right. So what happens is like the first twin of a 5-person lineup or some shit walks through. Naturally, this person's like, that's the one. Right. Ironically, via the podcast, that is the one. Right.
Oh, shit.
But they ain't ratting each other out. They see another person, and then the other twin's there. And that person's like, my mistake. It's that one for sure.
Oh.
And they're like, are you sure? And they're like, no, for sure it was that one. So then that brother gets arrested.
On one eyewitness?
on the eyewitness testimony on that.
This shit was crazy back then.
And the craziest thing is right before they even got into that lineup where there was a witness, they believed that the correct brother who was innocent. They assumed that the correct brother who did the thing. So they had one go to like county jail, they had one go to like state or whatever the fuck, and they were in holding cells in like detention facilities like that. And then eyewitness testimony came in. They did the lineup. Whoa. The brothers saw each other real quick, and then they got switched. The other one went to county, the other one went to state. So they had no idea what happened.
What crazy. The heck?
Now here's the crazy part though. All they knew without enough information was that we're not gonna rat each other out type shit.
Yeah.
They didn't know how long that was gonna happen. So the brother who didn't commit the crime ends up staying in jail for 2 years.
Oh shit.
Because the other brother, for whatever reason, forever how long, couldn't come forward. He's the only one who had the ability to be like, actually, it was me, to get his brother out. But in whatever version.
But he says he's not gonna rat himself out. So twins are like, that's like ratting myself out.
In whatever dynamic there, because I'm pretty sure also in the beginning there's like a lot of like uncertainty, a lot of like, we gotta figure this out. Like maybe there's still a trial, maybe like.
Is the innocent twin now mad at the guilty twin?
By the 2 years.
Yeah. He's like, motherfucker, why didn't you say some shit?
But being mad at the person was the most they would do. It wasn't mad enough to be like, it was him though. It was just like yo, you're the only one who can get me out, dude. You know you have to. And he's like, dude, I need more time. I can't. I'm not. Like it was one of those dynamics for whatever reason.
But you think he could do the other time because they're twins? So it's like, hey, how about you share 1 year and you do the other year?
So that was actually more popular in terms of what people thought the story was, that they couldn't tell them apart. So they just served a single person. So that's actually what I had heard by rumor as well until this podcast came out. And then I was like, yo, I don't know all these details. That's crazy.
That's crazy. The innocent one served the time.
But it wasn't until that other one who was out was also still so involved with so many like terrible things and stuff too. And once, life just kind of got really, really turned upside down, there was like a very clickety-click moment of just me being like, yo, like I need to go like do the one thing I can do that's correct.
So after 2 years, that's when he confessed?
Yeah. And then his brother was able to finally come out. But his life was still fucked after coming out, because you can't just come out of prison, even, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that too, you come out, you still look like the guy, who's in a gang. Like
literally look like the guy.
Yeah, so like there were still so many. It's a really interesting pod. So I encourage everybody to go look it up.
That's so fucked.
No, don't tell him to go there. Stay here.
Our take on the podcast would be better.
But the reason why I bring this up, or why it was crazy, especially why it was crazy back then that I'd heard about this and I brought it up, is because these two guys are like they're my cousins.
Damn. Did you know about it?
That's what I'm saying. I had heard about it.
Oh my God.
Their mom lived with my mom. So my mom was the youngest of like 7 brothers, or mainly sisters, right? And then she has 2 stages, because, in Asian we call it like, I call it the 5th one, basically. And my mom was the only one who lived in California. And then like she sponsored my auntie to come over by herself. So my auntie left those kids who I had met as like infants. Like I'm talking like I held them like over the street, like while they're peeing and stuff like that in like ghetto ass rural villages in Vietnam when I went to visit in like 97 type stuff. Like she came over, she lived with us. I was actually really bitter because she took my room. We only had I had my room, my sister had her room. So she took my room, because she now lived with us for an indefinite amount of time. I don't remember how long. As a kid, it was fucking forever, because I didn't have a room anymore, so I just sleep downstairs and stuff. But anyways, that mom had she moved up to San Jose.
I knew it was San Jose.
The family came over, and then we had heard that this had happened. But we were like, what? What?
So you in between, you never really hung out or talked to them?
Like we know them,
like distant cousins.
But first cousins still. Yeah. And like definitely, they're also just a lot younger than us, right? At least like 10 years type stuff. So it was just I was their older cousin from like afar.
So one of the twins went on a podcast and talked about it
Both of them went on there.
together.
He actually sent it to me. He was like, "Yo, man, I want you to check this out."
The other one is out too now.
They're both out now. It's over. Like you know, they're doing decent considering the circumstances. Like one of them ended up going into like, you know, speaking on things like this, like, you know, counseling, therapy.
You know what I think you should do? I think you should help them start the Twinjas.
Twinjas, and then teach them how to dance. He goes, "We used to be in prison, but not anymore.
And we're not gonna rat on each other anymore.
We never ratted, but I ratted on myself to get my brother out." I think that's nice.
He already has twinjas.
Who's Twinjas? Who you got?
We have twins on the Kinjas called Twinjas.
No, but these are Twinjas.
These are the real ones. Yeah.
These are real Twinjas.
How about like maybe like penjas? Because like they went to the state penitentiary. So penjas.
He's like, "How about jail juzz?" Oh, I got it. Kin jails.
Jailbirds.
It's just a whole nother. He just completely took out any reference.
Just a shoe brand? Wait, that's all birds.
So you've been talking to them and stuff?
I've been chatting. I mean, you know, one of the twins, he just got married in Vietnam. They invited me out to the wedding and stuff.
That's cool.
Is it the right one though? You can't trust these motherfuckers one bit.
Yeah, it was quote unquote the right one, but you know,
Can you have one of them get a permanent mole tattoo so we know which one it is?
I think one of them does have one. That's how it's more distinct. It's easy to tell when you like grow up with them or you know them, right? You see them all the time, type stuff. But like if you don't, like, how do you identify, right? Yeah. But it's one of those things where, sure, call me biased because, you know, we're family, but you know, like, what would you do if you saw your twin brother just getting fucking destroyed too, right? Like, obviously you don't want to kill somebody, but like, you know, you're
gonna jump in no matter what. Yeah.
I think it's dumb to take out a knife, obviously, and like, you know, we feel so bad for the victim and their family and stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't have stabbed a vital area.
100. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have stabbed, you know. Like,
You could stab,
you're crazy.
but you can't. You got nowhere to stab, man.
But you're teenagers. You're probably not thinking of you just swinging that knife around. You're not surgical with it.
Yeah, if you gotta pay the price. It's just like, oh my god, this will let his brother pay the price for like a couple years, and it's like it's hard because they're twins, so it's the most unique, like, you know.
Yeah, and you're harboring this guilt that your brother is in, and you're like, fuck, he didn't even do it.
Can you imagine you're like jumping a guy and then you get stabbed in the back and you're like, I thought I was fucking you up. Like, oh shit. You know, you're like, bop, bop, bop. And you're like, ow. And you turn around and then this guy's holding a knife. You're like, oh, but I was beating you. How did you get behind me?
You're like, damn, this
It's like an anime.
is a hologram.
Yeah, I would have been tripping out, dude. I'm like, I was just fucking you up.
Kage Bunshin.
Yeah. And you're like, ah, my back. I got a knife in my back. You.
You look back, it's a log with smoke around it.